Hi, my name is Jim O'Donnell. I'm a solution architect at Red Hat, specializing in the SAP ecosystem. I help our customers and partners who run SAP understand how to leverage our award-winning open source solutions to complement and improve how they deploy and utilize SAP. Now, most folks know of Red Hat because we were the first publicly owned open source software company to reach $1 billion in subscription revenue with our flagship product, Red Hat Enterprise Linux, which we also call RHEL, and you'll hear me use that quite a bit. In fact, this February, SAP and Red Hat announced a deepening partnership that ultimately led to SAP selecting RHEL as its preferred operating system for new RISE with SAP deployments. So the deployments that SAP is on the hook to support directly, they prefer to use RHEL. Today, I'd like to share with you some ideas about how open source solutions from Red Hat can help SAP partners, customers, and developers accelerate and simplify the deployment, migration, maintenance, and extensibility of SAP in the surrounding landscape. I'll touch a little bit more on our long history of partnership with SAP, and then we're going to dive into solutions and see how they add value to your SAP practice. We'll talk a good bit about automation. We'll talk about accelerated deployments and migrations to hyper automation like proactive intelligent monitoring with issue resolution, downtime mitigation. We're going to talk about landscape and lifecycle management all the way through the lifecycle to the solution sunset. And we're going to discuss modernization and integration solutions as well so that you have a better idea of the broad or the breadth of our SAP solutions and how they help you gain traction in your migration or digital transformation journey. Above all, what we want you to understand about Red Hat is that we're about open. We're here to share our experiences, but we're also not here to prescribe. We recognize that different customers have very different visions of how they deploy and use SAP and other software, and we're here to help them wherever they're at, wherever they want to take their workload. Okay, so Red Hat and SAP are entering their 25th year of partnership. In fact, a quarter century, and SAP was actually an early investor in Red Hat way back in 1999. And this is about the same time that Enterprise Linux 1.0, which eventually got renamed to Red Hat Enterprise Linux, became the very first Linux OS to be supported by SAP for application and database workloads. Since that time, we've been co-partnering or co-innovating with SAP on many open source solutions, and many SAP solutions already run on RHEL, including but not limited to SAP Ariba, SAP Concur, SAP Fieldglass, SAP SuccessFactors, SAP Calitis Cloud, SAP Data Intelligence, SAP HANA, SAP NetWeaver, there's a theme here, and SAP Cloud Platform, and many, many more. But additionally, Red Hat runs a number of SAP solutions in our business, such as SAP Concur, SAP Qualtrics, SAP Fieldglass, and Ariba. In turn, SAP and Red Hat are reference customers for each other. So from the time that SAP invested in Red Hat back 24, 25 years ago, we've become the leader in enterprise class open source solutions with 90% of the Fortune 500 running Red Hat and over 310 of those 500 customers running SAP solutions on Red Hat. The reason why is that customers trust us because of our low TCO, our protection of their investments, our future-proofing of their investments, if you will, our reliability, and our award-winning superior support, as well as our best-in-class performance. Red Hat has a unique end-to-end proposition, an open-source portfolio of SAP solutions, and as such, we are actually the only vendor in the world with a portfolio that's able to match line for line the technical pillars of SAP's intelligent enterprise. So from infrastructure to containers, from interoperability to integration to AI automation and issue resolution, we provide a full suite of solutions that SAP partners, customers, and developers can take and use in their own practices, no matter how they choose to deploy SAP, whether it's in the cloud, on-prem, or at the edge. So we have a lot to be proud of over the 25 years of history in the partnership, but we're really excited about the future, and we're excited to help our customers usher in a multi-cloud, hybrid cloud approach for their SAP workloads. We're working on solutions today that help developers create applications one time, but be able to deploy when and where multiple times to give them the flexibility to customize their applications wherever they happen to need them to run. We're helping SAP system administrators automate their deployments, whether it's on-prem or in the cloud, again, to help them get their customers' constituents to market faster. And we're also enabling those same sysadmins to migrate and upgrade more quickly to new platform versions, helping them to stay in compliance with SAP's product roadmap with more regularity. And we're providing solutions that will offer zero or near zero downtime for routine tasks like maintenance. And we also want to help customers keep that digital core clean, right? And so we're thinking about the future and about working with SAP quite a bit. And taking all of this together, what we're doing is aiming to make our customers more agile, help them become digital leaders in the SAP space over the next decade. Now, before you build an enterprise, you need to lay a solid foundation. The same goes for enterprise software. If SAP is going to be your tier one application, as it is for many customers, the entire solution needs to be performant, it needs to be scalable, and it needs to be highly reliable. To that end, we've worked with SAP to build an OS offering that includes everything that you need to run and maintain your environment on-prem, in the cloud, at the edge, or in any combination. Red Hat Enterprise Linux for SAP Solutions is RHEL. It is normal Red Hat Enterprise Linux, same kernel, same tried, tested, trusted experience, just with all of the additional bits you need to run SAP really well. Okay, so what's the point of all this? How about end-to-end automation of your SAP and related infrastructure? How about deploying with a click on your schedule with complete confidence, keeping the system running with automated issue detection and resolution, getting the help that you need to build solutions that you want to build and keep those solutions efficient, performant, and reliable, available at all times. Red Hat Satellite and Insights for SAP are a huge part of that puzzle that are included with the Smart Management Edition for RHEL for SAP Solutions. They are the things, a friend of mine says, we are the guardrails. We would much rather keep you out of the ditch than have to drive out and pull you out of the ditch. And to that end, that's what Insights and Smart Management do. They keep your system running RHEL throughout its life cycle by monitoring, by comparing to the published best practices from SAP and from Red Hat. And then you'll see at the top here, that cloud connector. That's how it does it. It goes and it does dial back home to the cloud. You control what data is sent to the cloud at all times, how frequently it is sent to the cloud, and where it is staged, whether you do that, whether you stage changes directly from the Smart Management Cloud, or you stage them to a local satellite or Insight server. So let's stop and think about what we've been talking about here. What would it change if automating virtually any IT workflow were as simple as just going to an app store and selecting the right tool? What if building, migrating, maintaining complex SAP landscapes on-prem or in the cloud could be achieved with some templated prompts and a few clicks? What if you could go to the marketplace and access hundreds of fully supported certified collections curated by Red Hat, by SAP, and by our implementation partners? What if all of this award-winning content and support were available as part of your Red Hat Linux and Red Hat Ansible subscriptions at no additional cost? That's the environment that Red Hat is providing for our SAP customers. How much can your organization benefit by automating all the busy work and the plumbing so that it can proceed unattended while your skilled resources are focused on more creative, more innovative tasks? That's really what the promise and reality of certified Ansible content collections for SAP is. So when we think about automation, why it matters and how it provides the technical solution to a range of business challenges like complex and expensive deployments, maintenance tasks that have to support the business schedule, the need to develop infrastructure as code to be more agile, or to mitigate downtime with a near zero downtime workflow. These are all SAP supported workflows and tasks, but the ability to automate them is kind of game changing. And so SAP provides very copious notes, for instance, and documentation around their software that has to be followed to ensure support. SAP Basis teams are on the hook to provide agile, flexible, and integrated platform, but it has to remain highly available and supportable by SAP. And Ansible takes a lot of the busy work and guesswork out of doing that by always maintaining an up-to-date rules base for how it deploys SAP. So what's the solution? We would suggest that the solution is to standardize and automate your SAP deployments and your day two operations, the maintenance and hygiene, the rest of the lifecycle. We would add predictive analysis to the landscape so that you get proactive automated installations and automated remediations. Red Hat portfolio of automation and management is included with RHEL, and Red Hat Insights Predictive Analytics also included with RHEL provide that capability to proactively check against common vulnerabilities and exposures and identify system misconfigurations and provide guidance based on experience from more than 1 million supported cases. Okay, so how would we differentiate our solution from other approaches, legacy tools? First of all, we provide the broadest suite of solutions. Second of all, for automation purposes, we have no agents. There's no additional software to install. You install on a server, and the server accesses the nodes the same way that your developers and your admins access the node. It goes through SSH. It goes any way that it can get a secure shell. It dramatically simplifies the SAP deployment and increases the reliability. And here's what our customers are telling us. They've decreased their day two operational costs. They've accelerated deployments by 66%. They've added self-service and DevOps capabilities, and they've added agility. And that added agility lowers their TCO. So IT automation across hybrid clouds adds operational efficiency. It removes silos. It allows you to automate. It allows you to delegate service delivery and processes, and it saves you time and money. Okay, so now we don't want to make you think that we're going to leave you to build all this content on your own. Like I've alluded to in the past, there are RHEL system rules for SAP, specifically curated and developed by and with the assistance of Red Hat, SAP, and our partners. This is curated content. It's developed by Red Hat and other contributors like the SAP Linux Labs. It standardizes the automation of your SAP software deployments. It standardizes the ongoing day two operations, and the value here really cannot be overstated. These roles are ready to go out of the box with your RHEL for SAP Linux solutions, and these roles put you in a place where you have supported code. You can put in a ticket if they don't work the way that you expect them to, and receive support from SAP certified engineers. These are the same installation and configuration roles that we use to certify our products with SAP in World. I talked a little bit about Insights. This is a look at the new Insights dashboard for SAP. Yes, Insights is SAP aware, and this provides a single pane for which you can view the status of your entire Red Hat landscape or focus on just the SAP components. And you can instantly see up-to-date data on your security status, vulnerabilities, misconfigurations, and of course your subscription compliance. It's going to indicate all of the systems that are affected by one or more of the vulnerabilities. It's going to tell you the level of risk. It's going to give you the relevant SAP or Red Hat KB to explain the issue so you can vet it. And then it's going to give you the manual resolution steps to correct the problem if you so choose. Then on top of that, it's going to provide you with playbook content that you can download into a custom remediation plan for your landscape that will fix those using SAP and Red Hat certified methods to fix those problems. So really, this is about managing operational and security risks. And so within IT, we don't really just worry about uptime and ensuring good performance. We also are responsible for the security of our systems. And Insights is part of what makes addressing issues operationally friendly, both through the customized steps that I addressed before, but also because we can provide granular risk assessment based on the expected exploitability of a particular vulnerability. And so you are getting a very clear picture of the security and compliance of your SAP landscape. And the nice thing is it's very complementary to, for instance, SAP's more top-down early watch services. So when I talk about operations and I talk about day zero, day one, day two, I just want to kind of clear that up. So when we talk about operations, we try to break things down into day zero and day one, the things that you do before the users are going to hit the system. And then day two is generally the operations, the things that we do to keep the system up and performant and reliable until it's time to decommission that system. Day one is, in short, config and install. And what we've done with RHEL is package Ansible roles for SAP so that you can immediately start deploying the software. These roles take responsibility for provisioning the server, for downloading the software that is defined in SAP Maintenance Planner, making sure that all of the prerequisites for the installation are done, doing the actual installation, doing the post-install steps, including clustering, HA, and all of that, and then giving your users a system, a brand new, clean system that is configured optimally per SAP's notes. And just to give you an example of an automation workflow to deploy SAP HANA, you'll see that everything you need to do to get up and running is covered with the roles which we include with RHEL. Obviously, there are differences between app and DB servers. We account for that. We provide you the automation code to quickly provision servers. Metal, virtual, cloud, doesn't matter. We register and configure your OS for compliance and best operation according to its role in the SAP landscape. We install the data tier and configure clustering if you desire it. Finally, we do a supported install of SAP applications using SAP SWPM, applying all the pre and post notes so that you start with a best practices deployment right from the get-go. We've talked a little bit about day one. Day two is everything that happens after day one. And so it's what's happening while your users are actually on the system, and it goes all the way through the life cycle to the decommissioning of the system. This includes direct tasks like database backups, system copies, as well as complex workflows like near zero downtime maintenance, where certain parts of the workflows change every time that you do it. Day two operations are really meant to be building blocks to enable basis teams and implementation partners a consistent set of tools and methods for simplifying and accelerating a wide range of ongoing automation activity. Okay, and this is just really to give you an idea of how the rules are created. So in Waldorf, there's an organization called the SAP Linux Labs. It's hosted by SAP. There are a number of implementation partners that are familiar with deployment with Linux that are big SIs, GSIs, IBM's in there, Accenture, but also the big Linux providers that work with SAP and SAP themselves. And so that's the SAP operations that you see kind of on the left-hand side of the screen. That's the upstream code, if you will. Now, everything Red Hat does and everything that Red Hat supports is open source and has an upstream project. And you can get to that code and you can read that code. But then what we do is curate that project down to what our engineers are able to test and support. And so you'll see a slightly smaller set of SAP operations going into the Automation Hub, which is our marketplace for curated automation content. And those do all of the same tasks. They have all of the same support and documentation. They're just more stable code that is fully supported by Red Hat engineers. Okay, so now I want to transition a bit to the topic of modernization. Red Hat is a staple provider of supportive tools for app dev and deployment throughout the modern hybrid cloud. We are the tooling and instrumentation of much of the modern hybrid cloud. And what we do is provide a rich set of solutions for API management, development, integration, and delivery of applications. And in this case, they're all certified to work with SAP's APIs, SAP BTP, or partner interfaces that allow maximum flexibility and agility to your SAP deployments. Okay, to that end, Red Hat offers this complete suite of integration tools and solutions to support SAP. It has been certified with SAP solutions for 20 years now, and it interacts with a huge variety of SAP's cloud applications and partner applications, as well as the business suite proper. It works with BTP as well as directly with the open APIs, and there are over 1,500 tested open SAP APIs that work with our integration suite and our delivery suite. And so these products, again, help you to extend your SAP functionality, integrate with up and downstream systems in a way that is fully supported by SAP, that is fully supported by Red Hat, and that allows you to do any sort of customization or extension of the SAP platform without impacting or muddying, if you will, the digital core. Okay, so my time grows short. I hope that you found some useful information in my presentation. If you would like to get more information, I direct your attention to the QR code on this slide and sprinkled throughout the presentation. That's your link to our Red Hat for SAP website, where you can get all of the information that we publish around the solutions I've discussed today. It's also your link to getting in touch with me and the rest of the Red Hatter team in case you'd like to have a more detailed conversation and follow-up. Again, thank you very much for your time, and I hope you have a great TechEd.